Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where we freely discuss our experiences as a chosen one and where scriptures are guide and our proof. I am here. It's over there on the thing. I am here today to talk about the black sheep. Most people say that they are the black sheep of their family. And I've always kind of wondered what exactly would a black sheep be. Now I exhibit black sheep qualities, okay? But like, what exactly is a black sheep? A black sheep is a person that or a thing that is different than the rest, which is okay. Um, a black sheep is one who stands out from the crowd. A black sheep is one who illuminates. A black sheep is one who is just totally opposite than the norm. Okay. I would consider myself a black sheep simply because of my upbringing, how I grew up, and how I knew I wasn't, like everybody else, right? So I knew I wasn't like everybody else, but then too, I didn't know what I was either. So, and at the time, I didn't realize that that's what it was. You know, I understand now that I didn't know who I was then, but I knew that I wasn't like everybody else. And the only reason why I knew I wasn't like everybody else is because how people treated me, how my family treated me, how things were always subject for me, how I went to school when I went to school, how things was just different for me. So as I got older, I went into just trying to figure out what exactly is a black sheep, and what exactly am I so, why am I so different? Okay. At a young age, okay, so my grandmother, she'd take us to church all the time. And there was certain things that was going on in the church that I never would say anything about, but you know, my grandmother exhibited certain types of behavior in the church. Her and some friends of hers, and I had this certain experience in the church that I never really talked about. I never told anybody until I got older. I told my kids. Actually, yeah, I told my kids about one particular incident in the church, but I don't think I told them about the other. I'm not gonna tell y'all about that right now either, but it was different. It was different. Had me questioning myself a lot. Anyway, so I goes and I read the scriptures, read my Bible and stuff like that. And what I noticed, in the scriptures, when God told Abraham to leave his family in, let's see, Genesis 12. Genesis 12 and 1. God told Abraham, get up out of, he said, now the Lord said unto, hold on. Yeah, now the Lord said unto Abram, this is when his name was Abram. It wasn't Abraham yet. It was Abram. He said, the Lord said unto Abram, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred and from thy father's house unto a land that I will shew thee. So the Lord was separating Abram from his family, right? So, and when you think about it, you're like, the Lord, he separated Abram from his family. And then, just like some of us are going through it right now, where we are in the midst of a separation. All while I was growing up, you know, I always felt like, and this was before I even comprehended that Abram was separated from his family. This is before I understood why. I always felt like, oh, I gotta get away. I ran away a bunch of times. But every time I'd be drawn back because, you know, at that time the Lord was like, you ain't ready yet. Go back until I say. Pretty much that's just how that was going. But then look, so if you look at the second verse and the third verse, it says, and I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that cursed thee. And in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. Now, out of all the kids Abram's father had, the Lord chose Abram. He chose him. So he was a chosen one. Abram got chose. And the Lord chose him. And that was like, that's way, 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 way back then. And then he made a covenant with him. He told him, you leave these people. You come up out of this land. You leave these people, you know, you leave your father, leave your mother. And I will bless you. I'm gonna make my covenant with you. Okay? Meaning he was gonna bless his seed. All chosen ones would have came out of Abram. This is where I'm going with this part. All chosen would have came right out of Abram. Abraham later. So you can call yourself, as a chosen one, call yourself the seed of Abraham. Okay? Because the Lord dwelt with Abram as a chosen one. The Lord dwelt with him. The Lord really dwelt and dealt with him. Like God was with him all the time. As a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, maybe I could find the scripture, but God considered Abraham a friend. And with your friends, you know, you share everything. You know, you share everything with your friends. Right? So, Abraham was chosen. And you know, the scriptures also say there's nothing new on the earth. So God has more chosen on the earth. If he did it with Abraham, he would do it again with somebody else. Anyway, that's one, and then too, there's one way you will know that you were chosen by having to, get away from your family who is different than you, who don't support you, who don't agree with you, who use you, who talk about you, who dog you, who act like they love you, but your discernment tell you otherwise. Right? From experience. So, like I was saying, the Lord chose Abram, then Abraham. Made a covenant with Abraham. Abraham began to having kids. But the main point I'm trying to make, though, is Abraham had to leave his father's house. He had to leave his father and mother's house to get his mind right and to walk with God. And that's what most of us chosen have to do. It's the calling. And whether you want to or not, if God called you to do something, you gonna do it. You gonna do it whether you want to or not. Just like Jonah. God called Jonah to go holler at these people in Nineveh, right? And Jonah was like, I ain't going. Jonah said, I'm finna roll over here to my Lord. I don't want to do it. God said, excuse me. You heard what I said now. I already told you. And you going to get on the boat that I'm telling you not to get on. You going to get on the boat that's not in the direction, that's not going in the direction I told you to go. All right. Boom. Shake it up. Smack it up. The Lord shook the ship, okay? Shook it and said, what did I tell you? See this? This is why I love God, because it's like, he don't play games. And we talking about understanding. Okay, let's talk about this real quick. Understanding the difference between what God does and what the devil does. What God does is real. What the devil does is a facade. What God says really goes. What the devil does, he got to trick you into doing. It's a difference. So, back to Jonah. So, the Lord shook up the ship. Had a whole whale swallow him. He sat up in this prideful for 3 days. He's big pride for 3 days. Big pride for 3 days, right? And so he said, Lord, okay, I'll go to Nineveh. I'm sorry, but it's funny. You know, because back then, in those days, they knew God was real. They knew it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they knew there was nothing like holding them back from knowing that God is real. They would literally talk to God. They were back and forth with him, conversate with him. And they knew he was real, whether they saw him or not. It was the culture then. They knew God was super real. They knew it. They knew it was for show. It was for show, they knew. Like, it wasn't no question about it, you know? But, now, We questioning it because of our because of the upbringing now. So it was a question. When I was coming up, it was a question. Everybody, yeah. When I was growing up, okay, everybody, we'll go to church, we talk about God, but then we see the reckless and nasty things that they would do. Stuff that's in the Bible that said, don't do, you doing. So it brought on a spirit of unbelief. It brought on a spirit of doubt. When everybody being hypocrites. So, of course, it brings on the spirit of confusion. So everybody's confused. And once everybody is seeing the hypocritical things happening, how everybody is seeing how, you doing stuff that the Bible said don't do. You keep talking about God, but you still doing things that God said don't do. It causes confusion. And when you're confused, you lose hope. I'm just saying, it's like, it's a domino, like it's a domino effect. Like it was a domino effect when I was growing up. But the Lord said, the Lord is like, you know what? Just like he chose Abraham, he had a bunch of seeds in Abraham. Abraham was chosen. He had a bunch of seeds in Abraham that came down to generation after generation after generation after generation. And we're at the point, we're here now, we're at the point now where those seeds have grown. Those seeds have grown. Like when the Lord talked about the wheats and the tares, he said, no, the angels, they were like, yeah, they're all growing up together. Angels were like, let us go down and, get rid of, go ahead. The Lord said, nah, let them grow up together. I'll separate them. Let them grow up together, because if you touch the tares now, you'll affect the wheat. So the Lord let us grow up with the tares. We growing up with the tares now. And of course, when you grow up in a particular certain environment, you pick up bad habits. You pick up bad habits. And then the Lord, when the Lord begins to separate you, you realize those bad habits are not what you're supposed to be on. But understand, when the enemy sowed his tares with the weeds, the Lord knew what was happening. The Lord knew what was happening. And while he knew what was happening, his chosen ones is growing up with the other, when he knows what's happening. But guess what this does? The Lord, strategic. The chosen ones growing up with the wheats, growing up with the tares. Chosen ones are the wheats. Tares are the other kind. The wheats growing up with the tares. The Lord said, oh, well, it's cool, because I get to prove who I am. I get to show. I get to show up and show out. The devil thought he was doing something. The Lord said, okay. You think you're doing something. But every time you try to put one of my kids in a bind, I'm going to untie that. I got it. And I'm going to prove to them. I'm going to prove to them. I'm going to prove to you. And I'm going to prove to the world who I am. Y'all going to stop playing with the Lord. I'm finna tell you. Y'all going to stop playing with him. Because he's no game, okay? He's no game. He's not a joke. It's not a joke. Y'all think they be laughing. They think it's funny. Until he strip you. Even the devil know he ain't smarter than God. Like, even the devil got to get permission to even mess with any of God's children. And the Lord will allow it just so he can show up, pull up, and show out. It's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm telling you, the Lord will blow your mind every time. He'll blow you away every time. Every time. It's never like a dull moment. Like, it's real. Like, it's really real. Like, he'll blow your mind every time. So that's why the Lord be like, don't worry about it. Don't cry. Be strong. Be strong. Be fearless. Because you know fear is not of me. And don't worry. I got you, chosen one. I will bless you. And I will bless those that bless you. No matter what that blessing look like. So, I just want to get on here and just talk about how you may be a chosen one. And if you are a chosen one, I mean, really, you should know by now. You definitely should. Being a chosen one is something you can't fake it. Like, you can't, everybody in your family, anybody and everybody around you will know that you were chosen. Everybody. Like, if you a chosen one, it's not a secret. There's no way. It's not a secret. Like, you can't walk around with, it's not a secret. Everybody can look at you and tell these days. Because we're not, like, I heard somebody say this, and it is so true, that we're not, no one is looking at anything in the physical anymore. Everything is spiritual now. Everything. And spiritually, if you are in a space of a chosen one, physically, you could be in a space of a chosen one. You would know you would know you're around a chosen one. You know it. So I just want to get on here and just talk about that real quick. Like I said, I got more. Like, I just got a lot of stuff to say. You know, over the years of I pray and I thank God. I thank God that he has, like, really been dealing with me all these years. And I pray that whoever gets this message, and I pray this message resonates with whoever it's supposed to resonate with, and understand that as a chosen one, you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Period. You have nothing to worry about, ever. So, like, comment, subscribe. Let's talk about this. Bye, y'all.